All right, so now that we've got the navigation kind of down, let's revisit some of the UI elements that we could add to some of our view controllers and our UI views. The first thing we want to do is move the view out of the actual view controller and create a new view for that. So we're going to create a new file, and this would be the second view.rb. And what I'll do is, just like the main view, we're going to go ahead and have this inherit from the UI view. Okay, and then of course we need to initiate it, and I'll make sure this end closes out correctly. And then we'll take super, so we'll pass in the UI view, and then at the bottom we want to make sure that we return self. All right, so from here, what we want to do is we're going to take the background color out of there, and we're going to change this from UI view and to second view.new. Okay, and we'll jump in this, and we will no longer need to instantiate that. So we'll make sure the background color is the red color. So we're going to leave that as red color. I know it's kind of out there, but it definitely shows that we have changed from one view to the next. So now that we have that, let's make sure that this works. So we have the view set to second view, and then we have the background color all working there. So let's go ahead and get this started again within the simulator. In the meantime, I'll close out the main view and the app delegate. Okay, cool. So that's still working out for us. We still have the ability to see the red color within the second controller. And let's rename this second. It's a little shorter, a little easier to see. And then for main controller, let's just name it main. Close that out. And so what we're going to do is, we've already experimented with adding a label, a button with an alert, a text field, and a to-do button, which allows you to go to the second controller. What we want to do now is take a look at what else we can add. So we have UI, we've got a button, alert view, label, we have the view controller that we've created for controllers. We have the window, alert action, font, view, with the UI color for adding color to certain things. We have a UI image, which we'll go into in a bit. And let's scroll down and see if we can find something else. Well, we got a slider, a UI switch. Let's go ahead and let's experiment with a UI switch. So what we'll do is we'll scroll down here. Looks like you can init with frame. So basically that's just telling it that you have a CG rect frame that you're already setting beforehand. We went over the frames earlier. So let's try that. Let's go ahead and get that in there. So what we'll do is we'll get a switch, and I'm just gonna create that as an instance variable, and then we'll do UI switch dot, and let's put this in the comments right above, init with frame, and in there you should pass the frame. So let's say that we want it to be 20 from the side. We want it to be 150 down, and then what we're going to do is we're going to make this 200 by 30. Okay, and then we're going to get the switch, and let's see what else we can add there for the properties. Switch on. So you probably set this as on. I'm just going to leave that as is, and let's see if we can just add this already. So add subview switch. Okay, and I'm probably going to call this from the view controller at a later time. So we're going to go ahead and put that up there, and this will be switch. Okay, let's see if that works. Add to do. Okay, it doesn't. So let's see what's given us. So init with frame, and let's see an example of that. Init with frame. You know what I think it is? I forgot to enclose that within another array. So let's go ahead and recompile that, rebuild that, and let's see what happens. Add to do, and it crashes again. Now let's see what the error is on the find method, and it was frames, so same error. Load view. You know what? Just to make it simpler, let's just put that as new. We'll do switch.frame, and then we'll do that and see if maybe that helps. Okay, cool. Now we see the switch going on here. So we have that there. And what we can do is actually set up an action to go along with it. So if we go into our second view, and this is where it comes in handy, being able to pass that to the view itself, just like we did with the button. So self view switch dot, and I believe you can add a target just like you did with the button. So let's go ahead and try that. So add target, and let's find that add target within the documentation. Okay, so it's gonna be a target, and let's see, add target for controlled events. That's the one we used earlier. Okay, so let's use that again. Let's put that in the comments above. All right, so we have the target, which would be yourself. We have the action, and what I want to do is create an on action, and this would be for control events. Let's see what allows us to do again, and let's see, we want it to do it when it changed to let's see, is there a change here on event? UI control touch. Right here. So UI control event value changed. Let's see what that actually does. So touch dragging or otherwise manipulating a control, causing it to emit a series of different values. Yeah, so it should be emitting on or off. So we'll put that in there. And now we need to create that on action. So let's have it put as, we need to check if it's on or off. So if on, puts else, puts, or put s, you've switched it off. And this one, you've switched it on. And I'm just gonna do that so it's easier to see. And let's of course close that out. And let's see, so we got the UI switch and setting on. So it does, so on, right? So we're checking if that property is true. So checking if on is, because it's a Boolean. So we're just gonna do true or false. So it's a getter. Okay, cool. So let's try this. Let's exit out of here. Let's rake, and let's see what happens. Go to our second view controller, and it crashes. Let's see why. Okay, so on action, on. I believe it's because it's looking for it on the controller and not the button. Let's try switch on this and see if it works. That failed too. Let's see if maybe it's looking for the instance. Okay, let's see. All right, I think I know what it is. It's because it's looking for an instance or a variable within this view controller, And so we actually have to tell it to look within the view. And then if we rake, this should work. So let's go here and let's see. All right, so we have it. If you look on this left-hand side, we have it telling you if it's on or off, telling you the state here. So you could go ahead and put your actions into there. And I think that is it for the switch. You can definitely take a look at the UI switch and more of what it can do within this UI documentation. You got this tint color, so you can add a color used to tint the appearance of the switch. And actually, let's go ahead and let's try this out before I jump off. So we'll go ahead and we'll do @switch dot, and let's paste this into a comment, and on tint color. It'd be a UI color of black. Something out there so we notice it very easily. And let's exit, rake, and let's see what happens. So I believe that tint color will change that green that you saw on to black. There you go. So instead of that green that you initially saw, it's now black. And you can go ahead and play around with the tint color here, thumb, image, off image. Play with those. So play with those and see how those work out for you. I'll see you in the next video.